This isn't just a quarterfinal. This is history colliding with destiny. Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. Two giants, two empires, and between them, decades of scars, revenge, and unfinished business. Because when these two meet, it's never just football, it's war. Let's start with the obvious. This is royalty. Between them, they've lifted the Champions League more times than most clubs can even dream of. These aren't teams that hope to win Europe. They expect it. And in 2026, both arrive with something to prove. On one side, Bayern Munich, a machine rebuilt, recalibrated, and now terrifyingly efficient. On the other, Real Madrid, a club that doesn't just play in the Champions League, they own it. Under Vincent Kompany, Bayern aren't just winning games, they're overwhelming opponents. This isn't chaos, this is design. A system so sharp, so precise, it doesn't just beat you, it suffocates you. Over 130 goals this season, scoring in nearly every match. Multiple goals? That's the expectation. And at the heart of it all, Harry Kane. Not just a striker, a system within a system. He drops deep. He pulls defenders out of position. He creates space that didn't exist seconds earlier. And then, he finishes. Efficient, clinical, relentless. But Kane isn't alone.
Now listen, I think Harry Kane is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, 50 goals this season in all comps is mind-blowing. When you think about just how many goals it is, that's crazy. 50 goals this season, right?
Michael Olise has transformed Bayern's right side into a creative engine. Intelligent movement, precise decision-making, and assists that cut defenses open. On the opposite flank, Luis Diaz, direct, explosive, unpredictable. A player who doesn't wait for space, he creates it. But here's where Bayern become truly dangerous. Midfield control. Joshua Kimmich doesn't just play in midfield, he redefines it. He inverts. He dictates tempo. He compresses space. Alongside him, the midfield becomes a cage. Opponents don't just lose the ball, they lose time. They lose options. They lose control. And that's the trap. Force Real Madrid wide. Cut passing lanes. Trigger the offside line. It's calculated suffocation. But here's the problem. You can't suffocate something that thrives in chaos. And that's exactly what Real Madrid are. Under Alvaro Arbeloa, this isn't the most dominant Madrid side we've seen, but it might be one of the most dangerous. Because they don't need control. They need moments. And in those moments, they have this man. Kylian Mbappé, speed, precision, ruthlessness. He doesn't need 5 chances. He needs 1. And when he gets it, it's over. Then there's Vinicius Jr., unpredictable, explosive, impossible to fully contain. You can defend perfectly for 89 minutes. And in the 90th, he'll destroy everything. He doesn't follow structure, he breaks it. And that's exactly what Bayern's system fears most, because systems rely on control. Vinicius, he is the absence of control. But if you really want to understand Madrid's plan, look deeper. Federico Valverde, he's not always the headline, but he's the glue, the balance between defense and attack, the runner who finds space when none exists, the player who turns pressure into opportunity. When Bayern compress the midfield, Valverde expands it, and that could decide everything. This is where it gets fascinating. Bayern want control, high line, midfield dominance, structured pressure. Madrid, they're willing to give it up. Sit deep, stay compact, wait. Because the moment Bayern overcommit, Madrid strike. One pass, one run, one finish, game changed. History never forgets. But this rivalry, it's bigger than tactics. It's personal. Let's rewind. If you love the beautiful game, stick with us. Subscribe and see all our future football videos. 2012, Bayern, home stadium, the Allianz Arena, a Champions League semifinal, and Real Madrid collapse under pressure, missed penalties, crushing defeat. That's when the name was born, La Bestia Negra, the Black Beast, because Bayern had Madrid's number, but Madrid never forget. 2014, same rivalry, different outcome. They didn't just win, they destroyed Bayern 4-1, total domination. And just like that, the balance shifted. Fast forward to 2024, and this one still hurts. Bayern had it. They were seconds away. Then chaos, then collapse, then heartbreak, a late surge, a dramatic twist, and Real Madrid survived again. That wound, still open. So now, 2026, what are we really watching? Bayern carry revenge, Real Madrid carry belief. And those two things, they don't cancel each other out. They collide. On paper, Bayern are better, more structured, more consistent, more complete. Even the experts agree. But here's the problem with paper. It doesn't account for this competition, and it definitely doesn't account for Real Madrid, because they've made a habit of doing the impossible, winning when they shouldn't, surviving when they're outplayed, dominating moments instead of matches. And then there's the stadium, Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, a place where logic disappears, where games turn in minutes, where pressure becomes unbearable. For Bayern, this isn't just another away match, it's a test of nerve. Margins, one mistake, one transition, one moment of brilliance. Bayern's system versus Madrid's instinct, control versus chaos, revenge versus legacy. Because make no mistake, this isn't just about reaching the semifinal. The winner of this tie becomes the favorite for the entire competition. That's the stakes. That's the pressure. That's why this feels like a final before the final. So here we are, Bayern Munich, the most complete team in Europe. Real Madrid, the most inevitable team in history. One built on structure, the other built on moments. One chasing revenge, the other protecting legacy. And when the whistle blows, only one survives. Drop your score prediction in the comments right now. And subscribe, because when the final whistle hits, you won't want to miss what happens next.